Welcome back to Philip Sees China, where we make every effort to acquaint you with Chinese history and culture through the study of idioms and proverbs. One of the many benefits of being married to a Chinese beauty is the countless windows that she has helped open to look in upon what is a tremendously rich and interesting culture. From a young age, I've always been interested in the medium of film. One such pioneer in this field is Xiàng Famous for a multitude of works, one of my favorites is Farewell My Concubine, released in 1993. Focused upon the intertwined lives of two Peking opera performers and how they survive three very tumultuous periods of Chinese history. Their notoriety is earned from performing the final enactment of Liú Bāng's tragic opera of the same name, where concubine consort Yǔ commits suicide at the bank of the Wu River in front of her king, Xiàng Yǔ, king of Chu, at the Battle of Gaixia. I heartily recommend this film and viewing the original opera as soon as is possible. As we mentioned before, Xiàng Yǔ was the initial leader of rebel forces against the Qin dynasty, only to be ultimately outwitted by Liú Bāng, who would go on to create the Han dynasty. Xiàng Yǔ was born in circa 232 BC in the late Warring States period, in present-day Jiangsu. He became the Bāwang, or hegemon king, of Western Chu during the Chu-Han contention period, circa 206 to 202 BC. He had rebelled against the Qin dynasty and become a prominent warlord. At the Battle of Zhulu in circa 207 BC, seizing full control of the Chu army, Xiàng Yǔ advanced towards Zhulu across the river, and after crossing, ordered his men to sink their boats and destroy all but 3 days' worth of rations, with no other choice but death, trapped before the walls of the city with no supplies or any hope of escape, despite being heavily outnumbered. The 60,000 strong Chu forces, after 9 engagements, decimated the nearly 300,000 strong Qin army. Which leads me quite nicely into introducing another Chinese idiom, 四面楚歌, or on all sides, the songs of Chu. What does this mean? Well, this is likened to being utterly isolated or finding oneself in desperate straits. The story goes that Xiàng Yǔ was under siege by Liú Bāng with the aid of his general Hán Xìn at the Battle of Gaixia. And fearing to use canyon paths, Xiàng Yǔ rather chose the possibility of ambush along the main capital road. As fate would have it, his concubine consort Yǔ was kidnapped and taken into the canyons. Thus, he pursued with a reduced force of 100,000 men. Liú Bāng had nearly 800,000 waiting. Upon finally saving his consort, resting that night, the surrounding Han troops would sing Chu songs, instilling fear and worry in Xiàng Yǔ and his depleted forces. How could Liú Bāng have co-opted so many of my countrymen? Beset by desertion and ambushes, 100,000 soon became 800 cavalrymen, and concubine Yǔ committed suicide at the age of 16, blaming herself for the fall of Chu. Despite escaping this trap, he would finally be surrounded at the Wu River, with 28 remaining loyal soldiers refusing to escape or be captured alive. At great cost of life to the Han, last man standing, Xiàng Yǔ, would commit suicide himself. Xiàng Yǔ's place in Chinese history was assured, and is even credited today with the creation of the popular game Xiangqi, possibly arising from the wish that if battles were to be fought, no more lives should be lost between the Han and the Chu. When first reading Xiàng Yǔ's story, I was almost moved to tears. How close he had come to fulfilling his dream. Surely a romantic, often driven by avarice and arrogance, he would invariably ignore the most sensible and apt advice particularly in the case of Liú Bāng, believing instead that his fate was for him alone to write. Equally, at other times, he showed an uncanny understanding of human nature and motivation. Like most great men, he seems to have failed in being able to continually turn that gaze inwardly and realize change. Now, does 四面楚歌 have any similarly meaning idioms in English? Well, some idioms that come to my mind are under fire from all quarters, falling into a trap, or Custer's last stand. Primarily, these expressions mean to be under attack or criticism from many people or places. The last referring to the defeat of Colonel George A. Custer and his cavalry detachment by a large force of American Indians at the Battle of the Little Bighorn in 1876. You'll find this idiom very well used in China, and we hope you've enjoyed this next idiom. There's lots more to come. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below. Oh, and before we let you go, could you consider giving us a like and subscribe? Until next time then, 树能胜桥, practice makes